Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Langston, and I would like to welcome you to our Fibromyalgia Hope Association.com workshop. And before we get started with the workshop, I'd like to give you a little information about myself. So I started working with fibromyalgia in 2004, and in working with fibromyalgia sufferers, I really grew to hate the condition, and at the same time, I really grew to love the patients. I developed an understanding and a compassion for this condition, and the reason why is that I myself suffer with a form of muscular dystrophy. And the pain that I've developed and had to learn to manage daily reminded me of the pain that you, the fibromyalgia sufferers, has to deal with every day as well. So before we start, I want you to understand one concept, and this is one of the most important concepts to fibromyalgiahopeassociation.com. And that concept is that health is your birthright. That's right, you were born to be healthy, whether you believe it or not. You were born to be healthy and you were wonderfully made. So remember that as we move through this discussion today. So the purpose of our discussion is, first and foremost, we want to define fibromyalgia. Talk about what is it. We're going to talk about some of the causes of fibromyalgia. We're also going to go through what the latest research tells us about it. And we're going to go through the medical treatment and approach and why maybe they have failed so many of you fibromyalgia sufferers. We're going to go through the fibromyalgiahopeassociation.com approach. We're also going to offer you a chance to hear patient success stories, and most importantly, we do want to offer you hope today as you watch this workshop.
I have fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed in 1995, so I've had the condition for 12 years. And when I was diagnosed, I had actually gone to a foot doctor for foot pain, and he watched me walk down the hall and he said, "Let me run some blood tests." Runs blood tests, and I test positive for lupus. Sends me to an internist. Fortunately, it was a false positive, but fibromyalgia will come up that way. So I was on a cancer watch for about every 3 months, getting blood drawn, checking things. The pain was not uncomfortable, but irritating, but I went through, continued on. Never anything came out of the blood watch, so we kind of lengthened it out to every 6 months. I continued to see the internist, continued to have some pain. Other symptoms started developing. He told me that there really wasn't anything that I could do for the fibromyalgia. He didn't really understand it completely. He was very well informed. Back in that time, there wasn't a whole lot of information sites for me to go to. And so he said I pretty much had to put up with the pain. And so I just continued working on. But about 3 years ago, the pain started getting a lot worse. And I had tried Reiki treatments, I had tried massage therapy, I had been to the internist, I'd been to allergists, I'd been diagnosed with as much as asthma, which in true I did not have. I'd been thrown in the hospital for a battery of cardiology, heart tests and things, thinking that I was having a heart attack. Didn't pan out, fortunately. But my health continued to fade. I had gotten into a point where I could no longer walk. It was excruciating pain for me to be able to walk. We were thinking I was going to have to put ramps up in my home. I was going to have to move to the lower floor of my home. I have a 7-year-old son, so his entire life he's just known mommy that can't do anything. And as he aged, I became less and less able, so I wasn't able to play with him, do things with him, take him places, and that was extremely disheartening for me. And as the condition progressed, I thought, okay, I've got to go somewhere where I can find help. And there was a clinic that I learned about in Atlanta. I went there, and over a battery of 6 months of extensive blood tests, they diagnosed chronic fatigue, adrenal failure, thyroid failure, and then finally Lyme's disease. Apparently, when my son was 2.5 years old, I remember getting bit by a tick in my yard in Georgia, and apparently the tick carried Lyme's disease. And so with the combination of the fibromyalgia, the Lyme's disease, and everything, I was a mess. There was no sense, there was no way around my symptoms. So we pretty much just put up with it. Had a lot of medications I was put on, some of them extremely strong pain medications that have actually been recalled because of a lot of heart problems that were created by them. So fortunately I missed that bullet. I wasn't on them long enough to really cause any severe damage. And I estimate I've spent approximately $50,000 just trying to find answers and being continually told that, you know, there's nothing that can be done, it's really in your head, you just need to move on. I've been put on antidepressants, and before I actually really needed one, so when I came off of it I was depressed, not being able to sleep, a lot of sleep medications. Met a wonderful doctor at the clinic that said that there was hope for me, and described a treatment that I had not heard of. Decided, you know, everything else I've tried has not worked. Might as well give this a try. And the results have been absolutely amazing. I no longer walk with pain. I don't need my handicap parking sticker anymore. My son is proud to have me come to his school and be involved. My husband is so much happier. He's not worried about my health as much. So he can actually get on with his life instead of worrying about, I'm going to be taking care of this woman, she's going to be in a wheelchair by the time she's 50. And it's just been fantastic. I now take water aerobics 3 times a week so I can actually start strengthening the muscles that have not been able to be used. And I have a wonderful outlook. I know things are going to be better. They're going to continue to improve because my treatment has just allowed me to continue to improve. And I'm sorry. I am just so happy to have this available here. And I just know that everyone that gave it a shot, gave it a try, would benefit. It's been phenomenal for me.
You just watched a very compelling testimony that is one of many that can be seen by going to fibromyalgiahopeassociation.com.